Okay, and we're with Ashmedi from Melechesh.
Yes,
Hello
Ashmedi.
to Sonic Shocks.
Greetings, people watching Sonic Shocks. Already a shout.
Now, we are here to talk to your fans, but we're also here to make new fans. Now, this is quite a mission because you play Mesopotamian Metal.
That's just a term, yeah, that I put on the music, and now it's funny. I get fan mail saying you're one of the good Mesopotamian metal bands. I'm like, really? Name me another one. Just made it up. What?
Did anyone ever name another Mesopotamian?
Well, they confuse. They see a band singing about Sumerian mythology. They just call it Mesopotamian metal. We also call the music Sumerian thrashing black metal. Terms are misleading, but people need milestones, otherwise they're lost. So yeah, it's just I call it. I invented the Middle Eastern sound of black metal.
Okay, how would you describe that sound?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I first started the band, it was a very clear picture. I wanted to do black metal, but I did not want to recreate. I just want to create, and that was one of our mottos: create and not recreate. So we started doing this first simple type of black metal, but always with Middle Eastern music. Speaking, what was unique about the Middle Eastern aspect is we actually used the drum patterns, Middle Eastern drum patterns, and that wasn't used before in metal. So it worked, and on hindsight, I thought, why does it work? Think about it, these patterns are very tribal, so they're very primal, and heavy metal is primal. So they work together. You could just break your neck headbang on such music, and it works. In one way, it sounds mystical. In another way, it just rocks. So we also do the way we pick on the guitars, and we try not to overdo it. I have to bring this up. Often I hear Middle Eastern melodies, and they're just so cliche Disneyland, relying on certain keyboards and certain European interpretation of the Eastern Phrygian scale. So we try also not to sound too cliche, and that took a long time to develop. Very subtle.
Tell us about the fascination with mythology.
Well, yeah, fascination. I mean, I used to read fictional books which are loosely related to Sumerian Mesopotamian mythology. And many of the bands in the metal scene used to take reference of that book, the Necronomicon. It's just fictional. It's utterly wrong when it comes to facts about the deity Marduk or what have you, the weapons they had, because we then started taking interest in the subject, but went to more academic sources, and from there binded it with spiritual sources as well. And to answer your question exactly, I'm Armenian Assyrian. Now, there is a diaspora, Assyrian diaspora, till this date. It's not like I am connected to it. We're the Assyrian people. There's around a couple million of them. They're all over the world. So I thought, wow, Assyria is part of Mesopotamia, so there's this connection. And I'm like, this is my ancestors. So I took ownership of it. And from there, it developed to pseudoscientific theories that who are the ancient deities. Because it's the cradle of civilization, one of the earliest, if not the earliest, civilized society with established mythology, arts, law, what have you. But there's this theory which I find it interesting about that the ancient deities actually were not deities, simply more advanced people from another place. And that translates directly into biblical stories and what have you. So I find that extremely interesting. And generally, Near Eastern mysticism is just such a fascinating aspect because the Near East is so full of fascinating situations and stories that affect humanity still this day, obviously. So I find the source limitless, and it's cosmic.
And now that we know where it all started, we got a new album coming out, which is the Epigenesis, which means development, am I right?
Broadly, you can say that. The epigenesis from a spiritual / philosophical point of view is evolving, spiritual enhancement, till the point you reach spiritual enlightenment or peak. Everything happened with a certain causality, including accidents in the band's history as well. So we see it on the title is very fit for where we are right now. On a spiritual level, I feel very comfortable. The cliche word would be enlightened. I like that word actually. But
how do you translate that in music?
The music itself, it's almost like I feel that Melechesh with the epigenesis nailed it 100%, and it represents Melechesh in the year 2010. All our albums have their own distinct sound, the Melechesh trademark sound, but none of them are a copy of the previous. And the album is very comprehensive. It has very different atmospheres, from very simple songs to very complex songs, from very short songs to a 13-minute song. So I feel that it is the most comprehensive metal rock, if I dare say, album that we've done. And I kind of sense that the mediums themselves are penning it as our best album, but that I don't feel comfortable with.
And I like that.
Yeah.
They all say it's my best one today.
I don't like that. It's just us now, you know. I know the cliche thing, it's our best album to date, but I'm just very satisfied with it, and I love every other album we did.
Love that answer. Can we expect to see you on tour promoting this album?
Oh, certainly. As we speak right now, I'm just going through several offers to tour in Europe and USA as well. So definitely 2010, 2011, perhaps even beyond that is going to be a lot of touring. For the previous album, we toured significantly, but we managed to miss the UK. So it's about time.
Okay. Normally, or at least in the next tour, are you going to play prevalently the last album, or are you going to play from all of your work?
It depends on the type of the tour and the set length. Obviously, there's favorites by the fans from previous albums that we should be playing, but definitely we'll also be playing new material. I think it'll be like around 60% new material, 40% some other songs from the other albums.
There's a documentary about you being filmed.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. It's just...
It's going to come out. Are we going to be able to see it someday?
Yeah and no. The thing is, it's a strange situation I'm not very comfortable with. There's a person, apparently he's a fan of my band, and he's a filmmaker or so. And he wants a documentary about my life because it's not a standard life of a metalhead. So he wanted to do a story about me. We went to Jerusalem. At first, actually, I must say I was completely hesitant. But eventually we went to Jerusalem. We filmed everything. The guy managed to lose the film. So yeah, very efficient. I gave him another chance. He started filming all over. He came to the studio. We gave him time in the studio. He spent time around us. He got too close. And now he's having mental problems. Oh, wow. So till he recovers from his mental problems, the film is on hold. So, but it's not my thing. I mean, my thing is making music. Some people are interested with my life story, which is fine. I'm flattered.
You
but
also write a lot of your life story in
what?
Recipe magazine.
Yes, that actually relates to it. Same story. It happened that people asked me to write about it. I was very embarrassed at first, but I found it very helpful because my head is it's a complete chaos. So it kind of restored some order when you look at things in hindsight. Yeah. But regarding the film now, from his perspective, it's on hold because he's mentally ill. Meanwhile, some other filmmakers are offering to finish it. I say, if you want to do it. Just don't bother me. You know, I'm the subject, not the creator. So it's different than the relationship with Melechesh, where I'm the creator, not the subject. So in a way, it's out of my hands, and yeah. But there's a lot of feedback about it. It's crazy. Everybody's just asking about it, like fans. When is it coming out? It will happen, I'm sure, because there are some other filmmakers say, okay, let me do it. Let me do it. You know, I'm like, as long as you start all over, I don't want you, to use that guy's footage or anything.